Okay, in our first part of the video, we have learned about that who is really the way, the truth, and the life, and we could not find anything related to Prophet Muhammad that he is the way, the truth, and the life. So, although the truth is far from him, so in this video would also make clear for many Muslims that why we Christians believe that Jesus is God. So, welcome guys to my channel. If you're new here, please do subscribe and share with your fellow beings. So, let's try to learn. Okay, we have learned that in Greek language, I am is very tense way of referring oneself. As we see, God have referred or introduced himself as I am in Old Testament. Therefore, we find Jesus too using this phrase or word in the New Testament. So, you clearly understood Jesus to be calling himself as God because they took up stones to stone him for committing blemishing in associating himself with God. Okay, in Matthew chapter 28 verse 20, as Jesus gave the Great Commission, emphasized by saying, I am with you always to the end of the age. When soldiers came seeking Jesus in the garden, before the night of his crucifixion, he said, I am he, and soldiers fell on the ground because his words were too strong. John chapter 18 verse 4 to 6. Therefore, these words give us the nature of God's name in Hebrew, Yahweh, which means to be or the self-existing one. So we see this is the power of the name and authority over everything which Jesus just happened to claim it as his own. Okay, now let's try to break it down the whole verse, the way, the truth, and life. Let's learn about the way. As Jesus used certain object to set himself as only the way, whereas his disciple already told Jesus, how could we follow you if we have no idea about the way? But as Jesus told them from the beginning to follow him as we need to do today, and there is no other way or path to heaven, no other way to Father but Jesus. Even after years, Peter has preached the same to the rulers or people of Jerusalem, truth about Jesus. Salvation is found only in Jesus, and there is no other who could give life but Jesus. Acts chapter 4 verse 12, I am. Okay, the truth. Jesus again used certain article to emphasize himself as the only truth. Psalm chapter 119 verse 142 says, your law is the truth. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus had already told his listeners about many points of the law, then said, but I say unto you, Matthew chapter 5 verse 22 to 28, thereby associating himself with the law of God as authoritative under standard of righteousness. Jesus said he came to fulfill the law and the prophets. Matthew chapter 5 verse 17, Jesus as the incarnate Word of God. John chapter 1 verse 1 is the source of all truth. Okay, life. Jesus had been telling all of his disciples about his coming death, and now he was claiming to be the source of all life. In John chapter 10 verse 70 to 80, Jesus declared how he is going to lay down his life for his sheep, then take it back with the authority over death and life, which is given to him by the Father. In John chapter 40 verse 19, he gave promise, because I live, you also will live. The deliverance Jesus was talking about was not political or social, which most of the Jewish or Jews were seeking and still are. Jesus was talking about the true deliverance from bondage of death and sin. Okay, and I hope you guys like this video. Please do subscribe and share with your fellow beings, and Thank you for watching, and many more episodes are coming up.